Hello, welcome to Kim Sewell Studio. You're the artist. You're the artist that are going to be working with other students. We have some students at Johnson Middle School who've created these beautiful fish. They're so cool. And now you are going to be the artist who looks at their works and then you create something based on that. But it's a collaboration. Their ideas, your ideas. Totally your art, but their idea plus your ideas. Now, I'm going to give you some clues about how to do that. Maybe you've never done that before. So, here we go. Are you ready? Let's go. Let's do this. I'm going to reposition. Okay, I'm an artist and I work with Arts for All. And that's an organization that has artists who come into schools, and I'm coming into your school virtually. And we work with students who have special needs as well as regular ed students. And so here are a couple of examples I printed off. These were done by my grandchildren. This was done by Britton. She's age 3. And this was done by Zachariah, who's in kindergarten. I thought these would be great examples to look at, and then for me to make art and show you how. For the students at school, what I've done, I ordered this beautiful watercolor paper. It's thick and heavy, and it's wonderful to watercolor with. So I cut it in half. This is what the sheet looks like. So it's 12 by 18. And I cut it in half to be 6 by 18, a long rectangle. And I thought that would make some really cool fish with designs, patterns, shapes. So the students get to think about things like that. And that's what you need to look for. Look for the colors they use, look for the shapes, and then you get to make some decisions. So now, I'm going to use Britton's, because you're probably just going to use one. I'm going to use Britton's and look at hers, and here's what it looks like. Okay. And you can see the mouth. You can't hardly see it because she used some black. So I'm going to make that stand out a little bit more. But I love the shape she used. And look at those bubbles in the background. So cool. Okay. So now I would suggest you doing a different size paper than what they had. So you could use the full sheet, or you could cut this in a different, maybe you want to cut it out like a fish, or maybe you want to cut just a little bit off. It's kind of up to you because you're the artist. I'm going to use the full sheet, and I was going to have the fish half swimming out. So I'm looking at her design, and I'm sort of copying what she has. Now, you do not have to make it exactly like your person that you're collaborating with, but it needs to have something that reminds the viewer that it was that person's idea. So I have the tail of the fish here, and over here I'm going to have a fish swimming in. That looks like the head of her fish. And I already said I'm going to do the lips, the design that she did, but I'm probably not going to use black. I do love how she put 2 eyes. You know, when you're drawing a fish from the side view, you probably know you would just put 1 eye, but she's only 3. She put 2 eyes. I love that. So I'm going to put 2 eyes just like she did. We learn lots of things as we grow up, don't we? Okay, and then, let's see, her kind of how she did her watercolor looks like this. So I drew a line, and I'm going to draw it with marker so you can see it better. But I drew a line that sort of mimics her watercolor. And so this I would suggest drawing with pencil first and then going over it with marker. Then all these cool bubbles she has in her background, I'm going to use those bubbles. And they're just kind of different shapes. She was trying to make a round shape, but sometimes her pencil got away from her. So I'm going to make her shapes. But who says a bubble is always round? I've seen bubbles that are different. Okay, so these cool bubbles are in the background. We've got a fish swimming out, a fish